Does it strike you as unusual, Richard, that the FBI and DOJ would be using different language here or sound like they don't necessarily see it the same way as yet?
It is a little unusual here, Fred, but I think if we cut through the fat, I think the state is in the best position to prosecute this case. The governor has called for the death penalty. There are 9 murders committed by this individual who's basically confessed to everything. His intent is clear. His motivation is clear. He has stated it. We don't have to glean it from circumstantial evidence. He has told us this was a race war. He wants to start a race war. He's there to kill black people. So we know what his intention was. He sought out this church with black population in that church. He went in there. He sat there for an hour. He molded over in his mind the premeditation, and he killed them.
Okay.
Yeah, and he killed them. So the question is, Fred, he's never going to see the light of day again. The only question is he going to get the death penalty or is he going to be life in prison? And whether he's called a terrorist or the feds prosecute him on a hate crime, because South Carolina does not have a hate crime statute, but if South Carolina prosecutes him on murder, they can give him the death penalty. So that's really what we're all waiting for right now.
And so, Avery, as it pertains to hate crime, act of domestic terrorism on the federal level, South Carolina may not be able to prosecute on those things specifically, but as Richard just pointed out, when you have the governor who says this is the death penalty case and the state will pursue it as such, how do all of these things work together, or is it a matter of working separately, Avery?
Well, there's clearly an effort to coordinate both state and federal officials, and technically the federal government can prosecute under different statutes. I have to say, though, that the act, and I saw Senator Graham made some reference to just this is a whacked out kid. Well, in the context of race hate and the history of what goes on and what has gone on in South Carolina, despite the changes, the fact is that 3,400 black people have been killed based on race, lynchings, and that sort of context, that sort of background. So I do think that there's a very important role, Frederica, for the federal government to do something here. A lot of these people are motivated by symbols, and I have to tell you, a lot of people might disagree, but a lot of us feel that that sign right behind the state capitol, or, I'm sorry, that flag, which is at full mast, not half mast, conveys a very clear message. That's a symbol, and it's a symbol undoubtedly that Mr. Roof considered in formulating his race hate.
A discussion and a debate that is ongoing and then further provoked by what happened in Charleston. And really quick, Richard, I'll let you make the last point. Less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, Fred, we have to focus not on the history, but on the actions of this individual. What did he do? He proclaimed the stars and bars. He loved apartheid. He wore flags of Rhodesia in apartheid South Africa. He stated his intention. He stated why he was there, and he carried out his act. That's the focus here, and I think the state is the proper party to prosecute this. I think the Fed should step back, let the state do their thing. If it's a death penalty case, so be it. He will get the death penalty if it is, and I think the feds are going to take a second seat to let the state do their prosecution.
That would be unfortunate.
All right, Richard
That would
Herman.
be unfortunate.
And by the way, Fred, that judge yesterday was absolutely insane. I have never,
well,
ever,
I don't know that he was insane, but he was certainly wrong in what he did.
And you're talking particularly about the comments that the magistrate,
hearing,
you're talking about the comments the magistrate made at the beginning of the bond
magistrate,
hearing.
It's a bond hearing.
In my entire career,
there are a lot of victims
and I would
here.
challenge, Fred, I would challenge any criminal defense attorney or prosecutor to step forward and say they have ever heard at a bond hearing a judge comment the way this guy did. I agree with Mark Garagos. This was choreographed for TV. This was choreographed for TV and politics. There's no place for those comments at a bond hearing.
All right. Avery, real quick, your point on that?
Yeah, I agree with that. The fact is, it's a bond hearing. This judge is finished with this proceeding right now. It's going to go to another judge anyhow. So that guy's done. He's
All
finished.
right. Avery Freeman, Richard Herman, thank you so much. Always enjoy and appreciate your points of view.